Hello there, YouTubers, and welcome to another episode of DrCassette's workshop. Today, the Marantz 2265B receiver from 1978. Let's see if we can make some progress on this unit. There it is, the poor beaten up receiver. I got this thing for pretty cheap on eBay, and the seller just totally failed with packing this, and we weren't able to work out any kind of a deal with him. So I will have to fix this all. So you can see, most significantly, of course, the back panel is just bent all over the place. The antenna was pushed in the very, very cheap box. This is hanging down, and it's you can see that's just totally bent all over the place. Same as for the main frame, for the chassis. You can kind of see this is straight here, this board, and this is all hanging down. And I guess we won't be able to fix this all. I'm still hoping for a bit of a miracle. That being, it may manage to straighten out itself if we put the bottom cover back on with all of its screws that were missing whenever I got the unit. But anyway, I guess we're going to find out about all of that later on. Today's aim is to make some progress on the main amplifier, which is broken. One channel does not work. This transistor here gets very, very hot, and so what I'll be doing next is I'm going to remove this main amplifier unit from the chassis, and well, maybe I'm able to find a problem. And here we have the power amplifier module taken out of the receiver, and left a blank space in the receiver right there. And I have to say, so far Marantz is able to keep up with my expectations. Very, very service friendly, especially for Japanese equipment at the time. You just take out 4 plugs and 4 screws, and the whole thing just comes out. Comes loose without problems, doesn't get stuck anywhere, does not require the removal of other components. Very nice. As you can see, this is the bend mounting post. So you can see that's quite bad. This is supposed to be perfectly straight, and as you can see, that's all over the place. Anyway, I printed out some comments that I got on my first video about this receiver, some helpful comments, and one of them suggested that I measure the resistors. Those are all fine, those 0.47 ohm resistors. They all measure half an ohm on this meter. This meter is not precise enough to do it perfectly fine, but anyway, all the other resistors appear to be fine as well. However, I found something else that's definitely wrong on this side, which is the one that's broken. Look at this capacitor. This is definitely not going to work anymore. You can see that's all blown. The bottom is blown out. And this capacitor right here does not look all too healthy either. You can kind of tell because the shrink wrap does not go over the top part as far as on the other capacitors, especially on this one, which of course is the equivalent on the other channel. So I'll be checking those capacitors. I will have to take a look into my capacitor supply. Hopefully I have the matching types lying around. I want to unmount the circuit board from the heatsink so that we can reach the underside of the circuit board and, most importantly, the transistors. That should also be perfectly easy. I am seeing 6 screws that I'll have to remove, and I will have to unsolder these what are those? NTCs probably, thermally controlled resistors. There's the other one for the other channel. So let's get on with it. Okay, well, I got some bad news. Some very bad news. One of the transistors is dead. This one right here. It's PNP type. It's the 2SB645. And it has a dead short from base to collector. Both directions read next to 0 ohms. I think like 1 or 2 ohms. All the other transistors appear to be fine. I compared this one with the behavior of that one on the other channel, and that is fine, just as expected. So it seems like I'm in trouble. This one gets hot, and it appears to be good. It has the exact same behavior as the one on the other channel, the NPN type. So I guess this one's getting hot because that one is not doing what it's supposed to. Okay, great news. Forget what I just said. Took the transistor out of the circuit to confirm that it was bad. And what do you know? It's not bad. It should be working. At least I'm getting the kind of readings out of this that I would expect. You can always test a transistor using your multimeter in the diode test position, because there is a nice equivalent circuit for transistors. PNP, this is what applies to our situation, and now you will not get perfect conductivity in this direction. There will be a bit of resistance, but you shouldn't get any kind of conductivity into that direction. In my case, the meter just remains in the overload setting. So yeah, something must be wrong in this circuit. So I'm not exactly sure what it could be. The capacitor that has blown up over here, that is sitting over there, right there, and I'm not sure how that could cause a short down here. So I guess I'll have to keep testing things. Maybe I can find something that needs to be repaired. Okay, as you can see, the power amplifier module is back together. But if you look closely, there is something missing. Right there. This is what so far appears to be the source of our problems. This transistor here, it's a 2SB549. This thing is just totally dead. It's shorted. It just measures a couple of ohms, like 1 or 2 or 3 ohms, no matter how you measure it. Each terminal, each polarity, everything, it's all just totally shorted. So that's the thing that I was measuring when I measured the output stage transistor. I was just getting 10 ohms across one of the terminals, and turns out its transistor is hooked up over here, and it just kind of goes in a loop through the circuit, through this Q760, which is the blown transistor. I was still measuring 10 ohms across the two terminals, and as it turns out, if you follow the diagram, we have the 10 ohm resistor up there. That was the only thing that was still in the circuit, and this thing was just shorted. And so, not sure if this thing, not sure why this went bad. Once again, it does not seem to have any kind of a relation with the blown capacitor. So I guess the only way to really find out is to replace this and see if it blows up again, I guess. Unless you have an idea of some sort. So if you have an idea, feel free to tell me. I am definitely looking for your opinion, your suggestions. But anyway, I put this thing back together, and I want to put this module back in just to find out if the other channel is working properly. What I'm just going to do, since we can do it, we have 4 plugs, and 2 are always for one channel. So with a blown channel, I'm just going to leave those plugs disconnected. So guess that's what we're going to do next. I did replace the blown capacitor, as you can see. There is a replacement. Replaced a Nippon Chemicon capacitor with a Nippon Chemicon capacitor. So, guess that's pretty good. And other than that, everything appears to be fine. So I just want to go ahead and put this in and see what happens. Well, no changes in the behavior of this receiver. It still won't turn on the speakers. The relay does not click. Maybe because it relies on some kind of a voltage coming from the part of the amplifier that we've disconnected, or some kind of a control voltage, whatever. Would make sense, but anyway. It does not click, but you can very, very faintly hear the output signal from the working part of the amplifier. If you turn the volume up to maximum, it'll just have some crosstalking in the relay. So anyway, the next thing I want to try to do is to take off the back panel. Maybe we can do some mechanical repairs on this unit tonight. And there it is. The back panel has been completely stripped. Good opportunity to clean it, by the way. Remove tons and tons and tons of different things off of it. Got a bunch of little screws. They are all the same, so that's not a miracle. There are some different ones, but as you can see, it's just a few. Removal of the built-in antenna was kind of complicated, because obviously it has to be removed towards the outside of the unit, so you've got to unsolder all these little wires, and it's not like they all go into one single spot or one, just in kind of an obvious way that you can remember without any further care. You do have to take notes, because they do run into various different places. In this case, the red wire went to the outer one of the two posts right there. The orange wire went to this terminal on the tuning capacitor, and it seems like you have to kind of separate it from the other wires. It went through this foam block right there. And the black wire, I believe. See, I already forgot it. I already forgot which one. Either the black or the blue. I think it was the black. That went down there, hooked up to J321, and the blue one went over there to J155 right there. I do have some videos I took while I took it all apart, so I know it. I still do know how that all went together. Of course, all the jacks have to be removed. Fuse terminal. Yeah, that was. I also had to disconnect the fuse terminal, because that removes towards the outside of the unit. I also took off the nameplate, little model number thingy. Have that right here, so you can see. There it is. Just a little piece of metal. Actually says a number underneath of there, which is kind of interesting. The screws on here, they don't. You have to remove them using one of these. I don't know the name right now, because they don't have anything where a screwdriver could slot into. So you can see that's all. As you can see, so not the easiest thing to remove those, but if you're careful with a lot of patience, you can remove them without causing damage. So now, also took out the power cord. I will be replacing that when I put the unit back together. Of course, the original one has been cut off. Do have the original strain relief, all intact. Now lying on the floor. Oh, there it is. As you can see. So, there it is. I can now go ahead and straighten this all out. As you can see, that's looking quite bad. It's looking quite bad. But should be possible to make it look like almost new. Another thing, of course, when you remove the back panel, you can kind of See by the reflection how this is all bent. One important thing, of course, make sure that the unit does not rest on anything that it should not rest on. Of course, you don't want the whole entire chassis to sit on one of these terminals. What I did was I put a battery, a flat battery, in between the bottom of the transformer and the table, so it kind of holds the chassis up so that nothing gets squeezed. So, okay, we're now outside, and the reason why we're outside is because we have a stone floor out here, unlike in the other house where we have a wooden floor, which is going to be somewhat flexible. So we have some nice stones out here. I put down a piece of hard wood, as you can no doubt see, and we're going to put a piece of cloth on there, just thin cloth. The aim is to protect the back panel from scratches, from being scratched. Now this looks dirty, but it has been in the washing machine. So we put down this thing with the printing facing down, obviously, and what I have right here is a piece of another piece of hardwood. As you can see, that fits right into there. Well, it would fit right into there if the panel wasn't bent, and so we're going to make it fit with a hammer. And once this piece of wood does fit, the panel should be back back in good condition again. And see, it doesn't even want to slot in because the surroundings are so bent. Okay, just make sure that yep, okay, that's looking pretty good. We're not going to bend anything that we don't want to bend. So now comes the fun. I have a hammer here, so okay, fail. I have a hammer here, and we're just going to try to get this back into a somewhat flat condition. So I think I may want to turn this around and this is getting annoying. Wow. That's almost perfect again. Would you believe it? Think a little more, and then we should be done. This side actually wasn't hit, so shouldn't be any problems with that, but okay, looking pretty good. No, I guess we won't be able to get that any better. Well, maybe. This corner is a little bit, well, okay. I think I want to call it good. Yeah, it's still kind of bent towards the center, not badly, but to straighten that out we would need some more professional tools. And here it is, a couple of hours later. We've definitely made some good progress this weekend, which I'm very proud of, because I was already starting to feel kind of guilty because I just had this wonderful Marantz receiver sitting around on the floor in pieces for so long. Anyway, as you can see, we have the back panel back in its place. And, well, it's not perfect. It's still kind of bent. But it is a lot better than what it was like before. I mean, before we had circuit boards almost touching other components, which really wasn't safe at all. Now it's all safe, you know, everything. You know, the part that's bent, it's all just off by 1 or 2 or 3 millimeters. So it is visible, but it's not, it does not have any kind of an influence on the functionality of the unit. As you can see, the antenna, the built-in antenna, is still missing. That's lying over there. The thing is, you know, now that the metal got bent inwards and then outwards again, it's starting to get a little softer than normal, obviously. And so I'm just leaving the antenna off for right now for safety reasons, because I would hate to make the situation worse again by accidentally bumping the antenna or something like that. I guess I'm just a little crazy about that, but I'm just going to put it on later. So I got the nameplate back in place. The thing with that is, I don't know if Marantz did that intentionally. There was still a protective plastic layer over this. Now I took that off because it was starting to fall apart. So took it off to make it look neat. So that's the way that is right now. Other than that, I replaced the power cord. I decided to chop apart one of my computer power cords. But so you can see the cable is it's kind of too short. I have to have an extension cord, but anyway, that is now nice and safe again, and I did make sure to replace the original gray power cord with another gray power cord. Okay, some video editing is going to be necessary because I just, doing some further experiments, found out we are, in fact, getting sound output. Okay, so what's going on is I have the main amplifier, power amplifier. I have the both connectors of the functional channel connected and the input connector of the broken channel, which also has this orange mystery wire on it, which, well, I don't know what it does. I don't have it connected to power or anything like that, to make sure that we don't burn up anything, because obviously I still have that one transistor, which I can't seem to find right now, taken out because it's broken. But anyway, what was confusing me, the speaker relay now does work. The thing is, it has a rather odd sound to it. It kind of sounds as if it was, you know, it was turning on and then off immediately again. I can just quickly demonstrate that by holding the microphone right up close into the unit, so you're not going to see anything. You're just going to hear what the relay does. Here we go. It does sound kind of unhealthy, doesn't it? Well, if we plug in a pair of headphones, we're going to see it's not unhealthy at all. We are, in fact, getting sound. Now, obviously I don't have an antenna hooked up to it yet, but you get the point. We are getting sound output on the functional channel. So, most definitely, the thing that remains to be repaired is the one broken channel of the power amplifier. So, with that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for watching. And as I already said, if you have any ideas what I can do in order to repair that power amplifier, what could be wrong, maybe if you have some experience with repairing stuff, you may have an idea why that transistor probably blew up. So yeah, if you have something to say, definitely feel free to leave a comment. See you again soon.